We have some updates about the NYCBL in the upcoming season. The NYCBL did release a post last night, an image concerning the schedule updates. We'll post that picture right now. JJ, why don't you take us through it about what exactly is changing about the season in response to the COVID-19 epidemic?
Absolutely. So, unfortunately, two of our teams had to drop out, Hornell and Genesee. It was unfortunate, but at the same time, as a president here, I completely understand where they're at and where their community is. I don't know if you guys are versed on this right now, but actually Hornell is now noted as a hot spot in the nursing home community over there. They just released that recently, so my thoughts and prayers are out there in that community. But at this time, we, as a league, the league has decided to move forward with a 10-team modified schedule for 32 games in division only, which actually will save us on some transportation and will also save us some time. We're able to push the start of the season back to June 15th, bide some time to sort of hopefully get on the other end of this curve here. I know that I think the federal government today released phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 for getting back going. And luckily for me, I think phase 1 includes gyms and fitness centers. So I'm really excited to do that with Blink. But I think very equal number one for me is baseball. I think that this season modification, is a step in the right direction. Gives us a little bit more time to get on the other side of this, get prepared. And we might be one of the first pitches of college baseball this summer. So I really remain hopeful and optimistic that we're going to play some baseball.
Now, I know you were with the guys who were making this decision, and pretty much the league officials and team presidents and pretty much coaches were probably talking about this throughout the past couple of weeks, probably months even. When do they think they'll have an updated schedule released? Because I know there was a schedule that was released around late 2019, early 2020, original, before the whole coronavirus epidemic came out. When do you think a new schedule, like official schedule, will be ready to be released?
I can tell you it's already completed.
Okay.
So they're working on the official date of the release for that. So it is completed. We've seen it. It looks good. I'm excited to be playing the Saltcats 8 times and have a nice little rivalry going against them on the Crush 8 times. And there's a few dates I still got circled on my calendar here, but it is done, so it should be out very soon. Like you said, Christian, and I just wanted to take this time to mention, because it is really important for me to get this out there. The leadership provided by the NYCBL executive committee, so that's Commissioner Joe Brown, President Bill McConnell, who was on our podcast, our Spartan cast 2 weeks ago, who was a leader in his own right. Not only in the NYCBL, but also in his own community and his organization. And then, the executive committee and our whole, I guess, group of franchises, which I absolutely love all the other presidents of the franchises here. We've all been communicating with weekly conference calls, bi-weekly in certain cases, obviously took Easter off, but they're in communication with Major League Baseball. They're in communication with the National Association of Summer Collegiate Baseball. And they are sort of leading the way here for us to help us make informed decisions, because I think clear communication here, strong, decisive communication here is what's needed, especially in crisis management in general. And I think that they've moved swiftly. They have been excellent leaders, and I continue to every tweet we put out, I continue to commend them for that. But I know personally, I've seen different organizations handle things in a different way, and I think that our league is really showcasing what great leadership and communication can do, because we're the first league to really release this modified schedule, and I think that goes a long way to our players, our parents, our families, our communities, to telling them, where we're at and that we're doing everything, literally everything in our power to be prepared to play baseball. I know that the reluctancy of some other leagues to release things like this is they don't want to have to do a partial schedule, and then find out that they may or may not be able to play. And I don't think that that's the way we took it. We said, hey, listen, doesn't matter how much time it takes. Make a new schedule, make a new season. Let's get everybody together. Let's vote on it. Let's talk about it. What are the, what options do we have? We restructured an entire division. We restructured the Western Division to and I know there's a lot of communication amongst that, because it created a little bit of an easier East and a little tougher travel for the West. But we've given some thought to some concessions for the Western teams to maybe have some more double headers to make it easier on travel. And we really, again, I can't say it enough, literally leading the way here in making some of these, tough decisions, but ultimately in the name of being able to play baseball this summer. And I can't thank everyone enough for this. It's been, a great organization to be a part of.
All right, before I let you go, JJ, you mentioned talking to the players and their families about playing baseball this summer. What have you or Coach Mahalski told the players in reaction to the news that the season will still go on, albeit with a abbreviated schedule, but still a season should as of right now, is still on?
Well, I think that I've taken some leadership advice from other people in positions across the country, as well as the NYCBL, in how to lead through this. And I think the number one thing is communication. So Matt Mahalski, our head coach, has been incredible here, and he's taken my advice steadfast and just jumped on it. We immediately communicated within less than 24 hours to all players and their parents, a direct email from him, sharing the updated schedule and what players could expect, and when to expect to hear from us next. And then I followed up with a swift response probably about 5 or 6 hours later, and I echoed his thoughts. I echoed my praise of the NYCBL like we just talked about. But I also listed 3 things that are important for playing baseball this season. The first one, I talked about, I wanted to reassure them that we are still meeting. Listen, we're continuing to monitor the situation, and we're still meeting, and we're going to have another discussion on this within the next 2 weeks, obviously, as we see where we get to. Continue to follow the guidance of local, state, and federal officials on what to do. Obviously, we want to make sure that they know we're taking all measures to keep them safe when they're here, obviously. So, if there is social distancing that still remains in the ballpark, that remains in the dorms where they're going to be living, and then making sure that we're doing everything necessary to assure them that we're going to keep them safe. That's the first piece. Secondly, we talked about all player fees are completely refundable if for some reason we don't play. So I wanted to assure them that they know that they're with an organization that, if something goes down, they're going to get their, we're a nonprofit. We give back to the community, and we sure as heck aren't taking a player deposit, and if we don't play and not giving it back to them, we will. So we just assured them of that. And then the third thing was fundraising. We talked about the difficult environment that every business right now is facing. I mean, me on the entrepreneurial and business side of this, I understand a lot of people are facing challenges. Businesses are facing challenges. Very, very tough as a nonprofit to ask people for fundraising dollars. It's tough for a nonprofit to ask businesses for sponsorship and advertising dollars. So I told parents and players, I said, hey, listen, anything that you guys can do to help. If we actually get a chance to play, we have a few fundraising initiatives that we're really going to ask you to get on. One's called Reaching Our Goal. One is called, one's a little raffle ticket program that we're doing. And then the third is, I get my fingers crossed for it, first ever Spartan golf outing. We'll invite the alumni to it and all that stuff like that. And again, it's all contingent upon, what the social distancing rules and protocols are, and if these things get a chance to get open, and if we're able and allowed to gather in big groups. And I just expressed full transparency how hard we're working behind the scenes, but at the same time, that we would love a little bit of assistance in the fundraising piece of this. So, my communication has been sporadic with the team. I think Matt Mahalski's taken the brunt of it because he's the one who's building relationships with the players. He's the one who's, their front facing, leader here. But I just jumped in this week here and just wanted to express my gratitude to them. I hope that everyone was safe. And then I told them those three things, that we are going to keep them safe and we're going to continue monitoring the situation. If we don't play, they would be refunded. And if we do play, we need them to jump in and probably just, we're in this together, right? I think that's the ultimate, closing point for me here is I talk to, members at Blink and staff and employees and players and coaches and everybody that I'm involved with right now. We are all in this together. So we have a duty here to try and, make informed decisions and do what's right, and take care of people and consider that above all, and know that we are going to get through this together. And I just love having like Christian, I always love having this dialogue with you. I appreciate everything that you're doing to sort of keep, the Spartans a little bit relevant here and continue to, share some stories and give people a voice here to ultimately keep the conversation going, because baseball's coming. It's coming back.
Oh yeah, we definitely hope baseball's coming back. Like you said, you guys and the league officials are meeting again in a couple of weeks, as you saw in the release image on or around May 1st. Hopefully we'll get another update that more confirms that the league will indeed go on with some baseball. We all hope that baseball will be played this summer. Well, JJ, thank you so much for joining me on the Spartan Cast.
Thanks, Christian. Stay safe.
Yeah, and thank all of you for watching here on the Syracuse Spartans YouTube channel. Leave a like on the video if you like the video and subscribe as well. Follow the Spartans on Twitter at NYCBL_Spartans and on Instagram at Syracuse Spartans. I'm Christian De Guzman. Have a great week, everyone.